Greetings and welcome to my channel, dear viewers. I hope you're having a great day. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the video. Happy music fades in as Drew Scott and Linda Phan welcome their third child. It's a joyous journey through love, family, and parenthood. Acoustic guitar and soft piano. Bright, cheerful images with family photos, baby booties, and happy faces. Standing in a comfortable, well-lit living room with books and family photos in the backdrop, grinning warmly at the camera, hello everyone. Greetings from the channel again. I'm delighted you've joined us. If you're new, please remember to hit the bell and subscribe button so you don't miss another joyful, heartwarming story like the one we're discussing today. You've probably heard the incredibly wonderful news if you've been keeping up with celebrity news lately, or if you've been a longtime fan of Property Brothers. Drew Scott and his amazing wife, Linda Phan, are officially parents to 3 gorgeous children. You heard correctly. *3. Their expanding family is the ideal fusion of joy, love, adventure, and vitality. In order to commemorate this wonderful chapter in their lives, we will trace their journey from how they first met to their emotional wedding and the birth of their first, second, and now third child. Let's celebrate Drew Scott and Linda Phan, a power couple whose love story is as real as it is inspirational. So grab your favorite warm beverage and settle down. Love at first sight. How Drew and Linda met is currently playing soft, inspiring music while relaxing in a cozy recliner under soft lights. Let's take a quick look back at the beginning of the Scott Phan family before we move on to the newest member. Because, to be honest, their love story, which began in 2010, feels like something from a romantic comedy. While filming Property Brothers in Vancouver, Drew Scott registered on a dating website. Yes, even TV celebrities use online dating. He made a somewhat ordinary profile, but then something extraordinary occurred. He saw the profile of Linda Phan. Yes, she was beautiful, but what really drew his attention was her smile, her warmth, and her biography. In subsequent interviews, Drew acknowledged that he knew she was the one very immediately. Her energy had a certain quality. The twist is that Linda didn't answer immediately. At first, she actually didn't reply at all. The use of soft animation or reenactment-style imagery made me shiver and want to mail Linda once more. Being the tenacious romantic that he is, Drew persisted. A few months later, he messaged her again, and Linda answered this time. Why is it taking so long? She later admitted that she believed his initial communication might have been spam, which makes sense considering his growing notoriety. But as soon as they spoke, they clicked right away. Shortly after, they finally met in person, and Drew was so enamored that he flew Linda from Los Angeles to Vancouver just so they could have dinner together. What about that dinner? It evolved into a weekend, which evolved into years of friendship, companionship, and steadfast support. Photo montage. Early images of Drew and Linda, casual trips, red carpet events, and happy moments together with voiceover. Drew's charisma wasn't the only thing that drew Linda, a creative powerhouse in her own right who works in design, production, and as co-founder of the lifestyle brand Casamai. She was impressed by his generosity, his diligence, and his ability to maintain his composure in the face of celebrity. What about Drew? He loved her calmness, knowledge, and ability to counterbalance his exuberant nature. Because love wasn't about making big gestures for the cameras, their relationship grew quietly but gradually away from the Hollywood spotlight. It was about creating something tangible, sharing dreams, and peaceful mornings. Are you going to marry me? A suggestion to recall bending forward with sparkling eyes. Just wait until you learn about their engagement if you thought their meet cute was adorable. After 5 years of dating, Drew prepared the ultimate proposal in 2015. He planned a romantic retreat across several nations because he knew Linda loved to travel and have significant experiences. He first took her to the city of love, Paris. After that, they took off for Prague. The true magic, though? It took place in Bruges, Belgium, and featured romantic drone pictures of the city's cobblestone streets, canals, and quaint buildings. Drew took Linda to a calm, illuminated courtyard in the middle of the ancient town one quiet evening. He dropped down on one knee and asked her to spend eternity with him while background string music played quietly. Yes, She replied, "Of course." And the couple had a nice dinner outside to celebrate. Drew wasn't finished, though. He had surreptitiously flown in Linda's whole family from the US and Canada to make the occasion even more memorable. Linda was ecstatic and crying when they showed up shortly after the proposal. Actual video or recreated stills from their social media engagement. Announcement. Grinning, this particular moment perfectly encapsulates Drew and Linda as a couple. Thoughtful, devoted to their family, and incredibly bonded. They did more than simply prepare a proposal. They made a memory that would last a lifetime. I do. Their Italian fairy tale wedding pointing to a wedding picture. Let's fast forward to May 2018. Following a 3-year engagement because they wanted to cherish every second, Drew and Linda were married in one of the most beautiful locations on earth, Lake Como, Italy. This was no ordinary wedding, though. It was a celebration of love, family, and culture, and it was evident. Elie Saab, a Lebanese designer, created Linda's exquisite, classic gown, which had a flowing train and intricate lace. Drew looked great in a traditional tuxedo. However, the way they respected both of their ancestries was what really made the day memorable. The pair gave tea to their elders as a symbol of respect in the tea ceremony, which Linda, whose parents are Vietnamese immigrants, included into the event. In the meanwhile, bagpipe music and tartan accents were used to honor Drew's Scottish heritage. Highlights of the wedding include the newlyweds dancing, the guests laughing, and the sunset over the lake. Not to mention the guest list. Naturally, Drew's best man was Jonathan Scott. Hilary Duff, Ellen DeGeneres, and other HGTV celebrities were among those there. The atmosphere was close-knit, genuine, and humorous despite the celebrity power. It felt like we were surrounded by all the love we'd built over the years. Our families, our friends, our shared journey, Linda remarked in post-wedding interviews. Marrying Linda was the easiest yes I've ever said, Drew added simply. Music Swell, a romantic, upbeat song about becoming parents and the arrival of their first child. With a softer, more introspective tone, let's now discuss the birth of their first kid, the event that permanently altered their life. After years of anticipation and hope, Drew and Linda finally brought their daughter, Evelyn K. Scott ***, into the world in May 2022. The pair had been candid about their infertility issues. They had indeed suffered a devastating miscarriage in 2020, which they courageously disclosed to make others feel less isolated. So it was pure, unadulterated excitement when Evelyn showed up. The first family portrait shows Linda grinning and Drew holding Evelyn. *Love is exploding in our hearts, Drew wrote on Instagram. Introducing Evelyn K. Our dream come true and our miracle. After years of praying, hoping, and never giving up. Here you are, Linda wrote. Flawless in every manner. Wai Lan, a name from Vietnamese poetry that means graceful orchid, sounds close to Evelyn, which they selected to commemorate Linda's Vietnamese background. K was a reference to Drew's mother, whose middle name is K. It was obvious right away that Drew was born to be a father. He shared cute videos of himself changing diapers, singing lullabies, and even attempting and failing to swaddle Evelyn like an expert. Clip. A brief, endearing clip shows Drew singing to Evelyn. It may be stock video or a recreation of a father holding a baby. Drew went from renovating houses to rocking cribs, as Jonathan joked, and to be honest, it was a great fit for him. Chapter 5. Double the Love. Bringing in the second child 2 years later, in early 2024, Drew and Linda shocked fans with even more thrilling news. They were expecting their second child. The couple welcomed their pregnancy with delight and thankfulness because it went much more smoothly this time. The announcement even featured Evelyn, who shared a picture of herself holding a sign that said, "Big sis coming soon." Visual, adorable family portrait featuring Evelyn and a growing baby. James Robert Scott, their son, was born in August 2024. Robert is a tribute to Linda's late father, whom she really adored, while James is a timeless favorite. While Evelyn immediately assumed her big sister role, lovingly rubbing James' head, reading him picture books, and insisting on helping with diaper changes, Under supervision, of course, Drew characterized James as a calm, observant little soul. The couple described raising two children as chaotic, draining, and utterly amazing. "I used to think flipping houses was hard," Drew remarked on a podcast. "Try calming a newborn while flipping a toddler." But despite everything, their family's bond just got stronger. The biggest surprise, the third baby. Excitement fills my gaze. And now, the time you've all been anticipating. Drew and Linda quietly welcomed their third child, a baby girl called Sophie My Scott, in October 2025, just a few months ago. Yes, 3 kids younger than 4. Do you have any idea how energetic that house is at the moment? Music, a cheerful, upbeat song with minimal percussion this time. They didn't make any major statements or disclose their gender. They wanted this trip to be intimate, private, and reserved for their family only after 2 highly public ones. However, Drew posted a sweet picture of the 3 siblings, Evelyn, James, and newborn Sophie, curled together on a cozy blanket in early November, with Drew and Linda's hands resting softly on top of them. The caption said, "We had 2 in our hearts. They've overflowed with 3. Our little songbird, our silent delight, Sophie Mai, welcome to the world. With all of you, life is more beautiful, messy, and loud than we could have ever imagined." A few seconds of soft instrumental music are played. A voice full of passion. The name, Sophie Mai, has multiple meanings. The Greek word Sophie means wisdom, and they hope their daughter will develop compassion and wisdom. The Vietnamese word Mai, which means plum blossom, is a representation of resiliency, beauty, and fresh starts. It is particularly appropriate in light of Linda's ancestry and the family's experience with grief and hope. Love was poured into the comments by friends and fans. Uncle John just gained 2 nieces and a nephew, Jonathan wrote. "This much cuteness is too much for my heart." Joanna Gaines and Chip Gaines shared. 3 blessings. You guys are creating something genuinely unique. A family of 5's life. Anarchy, hugs, and coffee. Grinning broadly, what is the current state of affairs in the Scott Phan household? Drew's most recent podcast claims that it's a lovely whirlwind. James is still in his milk and crackers at 3 a.m. and mornings begin early, with Evelyn jumping into their room to check on baby Sophie. What about Sophie? For the time being, she is a champion sleeper. An animated or graphical scene of a busy but affectionate morning, with James babbling, Linda nursing Sophie, Evelyn playing with toys, and Drew preparing coffee. In order to accommodate the expanding family, they remodeled their Los Angeles home with additional playrooms, a double stroller outside the door, and a kitchen that serves as a snack headquarters. Hey, we're all human. According to Drew, their refrigerator is 80% pureed fruit, yogurt pouches, and leftover pizza. The intentionality of their parenting, however, is what really sticks out above the practicalities. Kindness, curiosity, cultural pride, and the freedom to be oneself are among the virtues Linda and Drew are dedicated to instilling in their children. A no phones at dinner regulation has been established. Every night, they read a book, sometimes in Vietnamese and other times in English. Additionally, they have a family adventure day every Sunday, which might include everything from a beach excursion to a hike to simply creating forts in the living room. In a recent interview, Drew stated, "I used to gauge success by project budgets or square footage. Right now, it is the collective laughter of my children. That is the true dream." The tone of a message of hope, from lost to light, becomes tender and genuine. I want to take a moment to recognize something significant before we conclude. Having 3 kids wasn't an easy journey for Drew and Linda. They transformed their personal suffering after their miscarriage in 2020 into public support. They give voice to millions of others who suffer in silence by sharing their tale. And now that they have 3 healthy kids in their arms, they have turned that suffering into compassion rather than forgetting it. In order to promote reproductive health, emotional wellness, and easily accessible fertility care, they have teamed up with groups like the March of Dimes and Resolve, the National Infertility Association. Every parent's journey is different, Linda once remarked. Some happen quickly, some take years, and some never go as planned. However, love always manages to find a way. Perhaps their greatest legacy is that message of grace, resiliency, and unflinching optimism. Closing, celebrating love in all its forms, standing once more, back in the comfortable living room, grinning at the camera, asterisk, that's it. Drew Scott and Linda Phan are a couple whose love has grown deeper, more familial, and more purposeful over the years. From a 2010 message on a dating site to a candlelit proposal in Bruges, to an Italian wedding on a lake, to Evelyn's silent miracle, James's happy arrival, and now little Sophie's tender blessing. Their story serves as a reminder that love is more than simply romance. It's about being there for the people who are most important, every single day. Music reverts to the opening tune, which is gentle, upbeat, and uplifting. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked this in-depth look at their amazing adventure. It truly aids in the channel's expansion. We feature inspiring celebrity and human interest stories every week, so if you're inspired by tales of hope, family, and true love, please subscribe. What is your favorite aspect of Drew and Linda's story? Tell us in the comments below. Do you support Sophie, James, or Evelyn? Or perhaps Uncle Jonathan's babysitting abilities are the only reason you're here? He's most likely their full-time nanny by now, let's face it. Additionally, keep in mind that love is what creates a home, regardless of how your family looks compared to theirs. I appreciate you watching. Stay positive, be kind, and continue creating your own wonderful tale till the next time. Outro. A soft surge of music. The screen changes to a gentle picture of Drew, Linda, and their 3 kids in the golden hour. End screen. Subscribe button, next video. Jonathan Scott's secret life as doting uncle. Social media icons, text overlay. Welcome to the world, Sophie Mai.